Then those men, when they had seen the signs that Jesus did, said, "This is truly the prophet who is to come into the world." Which prophet? What are they talking about? Deuteronomy 18. "And I shall raise a prophet from among your brethren the Israelites, and he'll be like Moses, and I'll put my words in his mouth." Right? John 4:22. The Jews know what they worship. Okay? They're able to discern that the Christ isn't God, but he's the prophet, Son of God, the Christ, Son of David. Therefore, when Jesus perceived that they were about to come and take him by force and to make him king, he departed again to the mountain by himself. You understand? They didn't come to deify him as God. They were going to come by force to make him king. In verse 29 of John chapter 6, we see that the work of God is to believe in him whom he sent. Understand what it's saying here. It's saying that the work of God, believe in the one whom God has sent. Okay? This disqualifies Christ from being God, if reason and language mean anything to humanity. So, in verse 39 it says, "This is the will of the Father who has sent me, that of all he has given me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up at the last day." Understand what he's saying here. This is the will of the Father who has sent me. Okay? Now, who is the Father who sent him? In John 17:3, he is the only true God. Okay? Understand? "And this is everlasting life, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ whom you sent." It says here in verse 39, "The will of the Father who sent me." The Father is God. Okay? "It is written that they shall all be taught by God. Therefore, everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me." Why do you call me good? For there is one who is good, God. Okay? Remember? The man says, "Good teacher," and Jesus says, "Why do you call me good? There is one who's good, God alone." Right? Jesus wasn't being coy, nor was he speaking in riddles. We should have just believed him. "As the living Father sent me." Okay? As the living Father sent me. Who sent Jesus? The only true God. The living Father. "As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so he who feeds on me will live because of me." Okay? "I am the way, the truth, and the life. Because I live, you also shall live." Okay? The first Adam became a living being. The last Adam, a life-giving spirit. Okay? And then it says, "You are the Christ, Son of the living God." Okay? So there we have it. Living Father, living God, only true God, who sent Christ. "My doctrine is not mine own, but his who sent me. If anyone wills to do his will, he shall know concerning the doctrine, whether it is from God, or whether I speak in my own authority." In this, Christ has unambiguously disqualified himself from being God. "My doctrine is not mine own." It's not mine. It's his who sent me. If anyone wills to do his will, he shall know concerning the doctrine, whether it's from God or whether it's from me. It's not from me, it's from God. Okay? "I have not spoken on my own authority." Okay? You get all these sort of ideas that Christ has his origins in eternity with the Father and things like this. Okay? But what does Christ say? Christ says, "You both know me, and you know where I am from." Okay? So that settles it. He says, "You know me, and you know where I am from." And don't be confused by, but he says he's from God as well. Okay? 1 John 4:4, "Little children, you are from God." Okay? And John 17:16, "They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world." Okay? That's spiritual language. We're not of the world, just as Christ isn't of the world. But Christ can say, "You know me and you know where I'm from," because we have his origins, okay? We have his origins in the Gospel of Luke and in the Gospel of Matthew. Therefore many from the crowd, when they heard this saying, said, truly this is the prophet. Okay, which prophet? What prophet? What are they talking about? This is the prophet? What could that mean? It's a reference to Deuteronomy 18. Okay, from among your brethren, okay, from the brethren of the Israelites, I will raise up a prophet like Moses, okay? They did not understand that he spoke to them of the Father, okay? He who sent me is true. I speak to the world those things which I heard from him. They did not understand that he spoke to them of the Father. If you're a Trinitarian, you do not understand, okay? You understand that there's the Father, but then you misconstrue it, you misapply, you misunderstand the whole thing. You don't understand that he's talking about the Father, the only true God. You think he's talking about a person of a Trinity. He's not. He's not. We have one Father, God. Okay, the Jews know what they worship, right? Christ's own words, John 4:22. The Jews know what they worship. They know it, okay? We have one Father, God. Christ says, if God were your Father, you would have loved me, for I proceeded forth and came from God, nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Okay? So he's talking about God the Father. He's saying God sent me. He's not saying he is God. He's saying God sent me. People misconstrue that and say, oh, so he came from heaven. You know, no, not in that sense, no. Jeremiah 1:5. God speaks to Jeremiah, says, I knew you before you were born. I ordained you before you were born. Exodus 3:14. God tells Moses to say, go to them and say, I am sent you. Right? And then John 4:4, 1 John 4:4. You are from God. He who is of God hears God's words. Understand? Okay, it's a sweet perfume, right? To those being saved. Honour myself, my honour is nothing. If I honour myself, my honour is nothing. What kind of comment is that for God to make? Someone who's fully God, God wouldn't say that. If I honour myself, my honour is worth nothing. God wouldn't say that. That's blasphemy. Okay? It is my Father who honours me, of whom you say, he is your God. Okay? The Father is God. Okay? God bless.